Tonight on our Great American panel, he is a former Arizona Republican congressman, current fellow radio talk show host on 55 KFYI in Phoenix. J.D. Hayworth is here. He is a senior fellow at the American Civil Rights Union. Former Ohio Secretary of State Ken Blackwell is with us, and she is a contributor to Rock the Vote Radio. Wow. I thought it was Rock the Vote MTV. Democratic strategist Alicia Menendez is here. Guys, welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you.
With you.
All right, so we got a little boy. I'm getting a little tired of this accusation. You disagree with President Obama, the anointed one, that somehow people hate him, that we're racist. All right, here's the latest example. Little boy asked the president, "Why do people hate you?"
I have to say why people hate you and why they supposed to love you, and God is love. And
that's what I'm talking about. Come on, man. Yeah, come on, hey. That's what I'm talking about. Terrence, I appreciate that. What grade are you in?
4th.
You're in 4th grade? Well, now, first of all, I did get elected president, so about everybody hates me now. I don't want you. I got a whole lot of votes.
Nobody hates this president. But if you oppose the president's agenda, you hate him, racist, what do you think?
Well, first of all, let's cut the 9-year-old some slack. He's becoming politically aware for the first time, but this is the template of the dominant media culture, that disagreement equates with passionate hatred. And I think the thing we have to say to Taryn is, Taryn, good people can disagree, and sometimes it is human nature, sadly, to disagree in disagreeable fashions, because we all have those impulses. But I think we'd be much better served.
Well, let me be clear on one thing. I'm not criticizing the little boy. I thought that was a cute question, but he's picked that up.
Well, sure. From
the media. He's picked that up from people.
Well, Sean, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, there's a fault line, and on one side of the fault line are those who are trying to grow. The state is becoming more intrusive. We're spending more. And on the other side are those of us who believe in liberty. And since Aristotle's recordings and observations, there's been a tension between the state and individual liberty. And we're in the course of a substantial debate right now in this country.
Major philosophical debate.
Absolutely.
Major philosophical debate. I still think that the tone has gotten really amped up. And I say that on both sides of the aisle. Conservatives, progressives, cable TV, and just ordinary people coming out who are really
cable TV, of which you're a part of.
Worried, of which I'm a part of. Yeah, but I think there are a lot of people who are speaking in terms and in tones that mean that this little boy has picked up on the fact that people are heated.
Is it that? Oh, go ahead.
This frames it. This is a February cover story. It says, we're all socialists now. Well, the heck we are. And that's all we're saying. That's what they're saying at the town hall meetings. That's what they're saying at the Tea Party.
Let me bring this up to Alicia. This is important. Yes. Because, look, it was Democrat Party officials saying that people were political terrorists, Tim McVeigh wannabes. This is attacking people, from the government. Because they showed up and they expressed their point of view. So
you can show up and you can express your point of view. I don't think there's a reason to be ugly about it. I think there were a lot of Democrats who did some of this nonsense during the Bush era, and it was equally wrong then. I'm an equal I say this.
I've got to tell you, and I know we're going to talk about Speaker Pelosi in a little while, but when she decided, and the Democrat majority decided to call people peaceably dissenting a mob, or compare them to Nazis, that was so over the top, even with the typical indulgence of the alphabet networks and others who tend to cheerlead for the left, that the American people just said, whoa, hang on.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is coming right directly from the White House. They're the ones involved in retribution. A specific, legislatively, Democrats are now going after insurance companies for opposing their health care. A taxpayer-funded, excuse me, Chuck Schumer said it this week, the White House has a website. We pay for it. Attacking the Fox News channel. Is that appropriate use of taxpayer dollars?
I have to say, I think when the Fox News Channel goes on a witch hunt for SARS, which, by the way, Bush had, I think there's some legitimacy in calling you out on it.
Right, calling us out on it. So the White House is going to spend taxpayer dollars instead of dealing with a war in Afghanistan, a war in Iraq, unemployment they promised wouldn't go above 10%. They're going to spend our money to attack a news organization?
I think the White House is confident in being able to attack multiple things at the same time.
You know what, though? She's right. I am sorry, and I'm probably part of the problem. I do not get a tingly feeling up my leg every time this man speaks.
Well, this is the most substantial power grab that this country has experienced in its 233-year history. I mean, this guy and his team are growing the state. No president has had 32 czars. I mean, 32 czars that have, in fact, amassed power, avoided transparency and accountability.
All right, I must understand, too, it's bipartisan. Remember, it was Senator Robert Byrd, Democrat of West Virginia, and more recently, Senator Russ Feingold, Democrat of Wisconsin, who blew the whistle. It'll be interesting to see if the White House decides to include them in that.
All right, we're going to come back, and I'm going to give you a chance to see if you have intellectual honesty about, quote, the czar criticism you don't like. All right?
Got it.
All right, straight ahead. We'll come back more with our great American panel. Straight ahead.